The 29th anniversary of Netflix. Remember when Netflix was cool? Can you remember that? Netflix, back in the day, it was kind of like the Rebel, the, the Hollywood version of Rebel without a pause, right? They had no late fees. It was a subscription plan. You didn't have to worry about Be Kind Rewind. You freaking, they would, when they dropped a series, all the episodes came at once. You didn't have to worry about like all these other channels that, like Hulu had freaking the ads and shit like that. You freaking $6.99 for with ads and $10.99 without ads. Sucker. Yeah, you know what I mean? Who's going to be a sucker? Who wants to freaking watch video and ads in between, or every 5 minutes to fucking be pounded with freaking some bullshit, freaking commercialism? Nobody. So everyone's going to pay the extra $4. You know what I mean? So, which is kind of messed up. I just freaking do it without. So I always thought Netflix was really cool because they didn't do that shit. Netflix, their package was no ads, and it was still reasonably priced, like around $14, for like 3 TVs, I guess it was. Or at the time, I think it was every TV in the house. I don't remember there being a TV limit at the time. But anyways, and their series, whenever a series would drop on Netflix, everything, the whole episode, the whole season would freaking drop. Not like freaking Amazon, who freaking slow drips their shit. You know what I mean? They slow drip. They were like let you watch maybe the first 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes if you're lucky, and then cut you off. You got to wait the next week, and it's just like regular fucking TV, just like regular TV. So you got commercials, weekly episodes. What's the point? I think that was the whole point of going to these streaming systems, is to get away from the norm, the commercials, the weekly episodes, and to watching shit however you wanted to watch it. If you wanted to binge watch the whole season right off the bat, binge watch the whole season. All of a sudden, I guess they started hiring people from regular commercial TV, the big three networks, and then, next thing you know, they start changing up their policy. Netflix used to be really fucking cool, man. Like I said, they were the freaking the ones out there fighting the good fight against the freaking blockbuster type commercialism and late fees and all the bullshit that went out with it. The freaking nitpicky, the penalties here, penalties there, text you here, text you there. No, it's not like that anymore. Not like that. It's just how all these freaking companies in the United States, once they get to a certain point, they all become these freaking just greedy freaking mongrels that they just want to absorb and just take all your money. Give me give me your money. Give me your money, Goyim. We'll take all your money. And then to top it off, the shows that they put out there are shit nowadays. They're shit. They're constantly forcing narratives down your throat. Every fucking show has a homosexual in it. I have nothing against homosexuals. You want to be gay? Puff away, pal. That's the way I look at it. But the bottom line is, not everybody knows a homosexual person. And not every situation and not every job has homosexuals. You know what I mean? It's just like, and not every freaking company has a white-black marriage or lesbians or whatever. We don't need to see that in every fucking episode and every fucking show. I get it. Cool. You're gay. So what? I grew up in a period where, people were gay. So what? It wasn't forced. It wasn't forced down your throat. It was. It was like people, the homosexuals I grew up in. I grew up in the restaurant industry, so I know a lot of gay people. Their sexuality wasn't their identity like it is with these kids today. If you take away the LGB or the TQ, HIJK, and a P, they freaking, oh my God, I'm not gay anymore. What do I do? I don't know, man. It's just freaking horrible. I don't know how anybody can watch any of these channels anymore. I hardly ever watch any of these shows anymore, and I was surprised to find out that they had a commercial freaking plan option. I asked my daughter today, I was like, we got Netflix? So she's like, yeah. I was like, well, because I saw commercials and stuff. She goes, yeah, they're kind of like how Hulu used to be. Or how Hulu is now. I guess it's how Hulu still is. I know Hulu used to be that way in the past. But it's freaking horrible. All these companies, they at least in the past, they would hide their greed. Nowadays, they have no problem freaking just ripping you off, raping you, fucking you, taking everything they got to the bank. Fuck these companies, man. Stop watching them. Boycott them all. That's the way I look at it. Boycott Netflix and all these pieces of shit that want to have commercials and still have subscription plans. And then slow drip shows, which was the whole reason why we fucking got involved in these freaking streaming freaking platforms anyways, because they, at one point, they released the whole fucking season at once. But no, we can't have that. We got to figure out a way to freaking suck the bone marrow out of people's wallets. Anyways, that's my fucking rant for a hot Saturday day.